everyone. This is Charles Folkart on September 28, 2017. I welcome all of you. Thank you for supporting this channel. You know, I'm not even sure yet where I'm going to go with this one. I got a lot of things on my mind. But one of the commenters mentioned, what's the plan? What's the plan? We got all these problems, so what's the plan? And I've been asking that myself for quite a while, and I got some videos back there where I talk about solutions. And I mentioned a couple things that I think the white race ought to be doing, and I'm just going to mention one. You need to stop paying the federal income tax, especially if you're self-employed. Now, you can't do this one by one. You're going to have to do it as a group, okay? You need, the white owners in this country are going to have to get together and say, okay, we've had enough, and I'm going to risk an IRS audit. And that's what most people are not willing to do. But that's because you're doing it one at a time. If you did it in a mass effort and got the attention of these criminals that are, you know, you make enough money to be comfortable, but you don't have any free time. That's where the freedom is. The founding fathers were wealthy men, not only in material wealth, but they had time on their hands. They could go and do what they want. They could think. They had time to reflect, and they read and to study and to be educated and knowledgeable, and they knew. I mean, these were men of the highest intellect, and they, in their free time, because they had the wealth to buy their time. That's what most people don't understand about working. A lot of people work to buy more things, and then they buy more things and they got more obligations. They're entangled in the world, which is what Scripture says not to do in either 1st or 2nd Timothy. I forget. Let me go look. Okay, I found it. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. See, this life? That he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. We entangle ourselves with the affairs of this world, and we can't do our main obligation as a soldier. We're AWOL. We're too busy watching black men fulfill their dreams on the court and on the field in sports events that are fixed. I had a buddy, Ryan, tell me that that I was right about the Super Bowl that was fixed. Why in the world would you want to watch a sports game? And all those games are, I'm not going to say all the games are fixed, but the most important ones are fixed, folks. The Esau Edomites are into gambling. That's why they started Las Vegas. And there's a casino on every corner here where I live in northwest Montana. And then white people wonder why they can't pay their electric bill. It's just amazing how much money we give to our enemy, and we waste. We absolutely waste. I wish I had half of the money that I spent needlessly. Anyway, folks, the plan. The Germans had a plan, a 25-point plan. They implemented it 1933, 1938. They became the powerhouse of Europe. We're going to have a hard time implementing a plan here. And you know, Trump put America first. Okay, what's the plan? I'm reading this book about Charles Lindbergh and the battle against American intervention in World War II. And I just want to show you the first paragraph, the first chapter, what the first chapter is about. The Great Debate. The Great Debate. We don't have debates in this country anymore. And it was very interesting to see how Americans, white Caucasians, had debates Lindbergh went to speak at the Hollywood Bowl, and it said it was very well organized and nonviolent. Why was it nonviolent? Because white people were there. There were no Hispanics and Latinos and rappers and crackheads. And, okay, this was back in the 40s when America was 90% Caucasian. They had serious intellectual debate where ideas, and Charles Lindbergh was able to express his ideas without being accosted. Try that today. We've come so far down to third world living. Our country, the United States, is a third world banana republic, and we are sinking fast. And we are on a ship. Oh, I want to get back to the plan. I'm sorry. The plan. We're going to have, okay, Iceland. Iceland had a plan, and they put the bankers, the Esau Edomite bankers, in jail, and they forgave all the debt. Why was Iceland able to do that? Because Iceland is probably of the tribe of Benjamin, and they settled in Iceland, and they're a homogeneous ethnic group, the Caucasian Israelites. They're one of the tribes, and they were able to come together and have a plan, implement the plan. And I tell you what, if Iceland would let me live there, I'd go there tomorrow. We're going to have a problem here in the United States because we're going to have to find a place, a location that we're going to have to hold up in and defend, because that's why they're bringing in all these non-whites, folks. They're bringing in the non-whites to get them on the rolls, and even if they illegally vote, they're going to outvote us. They're going to use, it's no longer a republic. We've devolved into a, quote, democracy, which is a mob rule. And the mob is being ruled by the same Esau Edomites that control the Russian Revolution. That's what George Soros is. He's the financier. They create money out of thin air. They create currency out of thin air. And don't tell me they don't put a couple $1 million or however much George Soros wants in his account, and they use him as the man because he's not in the country. I think he's in Europe, right? Czechoslovakia, somewhere back there in Europe, Hungary, somewhere. And he's not in the United States. So we can't go knock on the door with a warrant and arrest him. So don't you get that? I mean, anyway, no, you don't get it because you're too busy watching 22 other men, mostly black men, on a football field fulfilling their dream while you sit on the couch as a potato swilling cheap beer. Folks, I never could understand why people would spend a whole afternoon of their free time. They work 40, 50 hours a week, and on their free time, they're sitting on their ass watching other people fulfill their dreams. Never made sense to me. I haven't watched a complete professional football or sports game on the flat screen. I can't remember the last time. Maybe a Thanksgiving back in the late 80s, okay, when members of the family are over. I don't have time to use my precious time, my precious resource, sitting around like a boob watching other men fulfill their dream. That's like you coming to my construction site and watching me build a house on your day off. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. You could get just as much. You'd probably learn more if you came over and watched us build a house. At least you get a skill. You sit there on your butt watching other men, mostly black men, live out their dream making millions of dollars. Well, you got to go back work Monday morning, and the only thing you're going to have to talk about is the football game you watched on Sunday afternoon. You know what? Get a life. Get a life. I think I'm going to cut her there. You can see the 2 cups of coffees were doing their job. And I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. And may the grace of God, our Father Yahweh, be with us all for we certainly need it. See ya.